Congratulations, you're the new Fort Wayne Komets general manager. That is right. We are starting the next chapter of this challenge, and that is with the Fort Wayne Komets of the ECHL. Unfortunately, in order to get this job with the Komets, we did have to simulate through almost an entire season. It is now April 8th of 2026. We left off on July 1st of 2025. So once again, 9 months has passed since the last video. Basically, up until now, I didn't get any offers from any teams that were outside of juniors. I just kept getting offers from teams from the OHL, the QMJHL, the WHL. I couldn't do Rimouski like that, so I had to wait it out for a fairly long time until we got an offer from, some other team, and Fort Wayne came along and requested our services, so that's why we are here in Fort Wayne. So let's take a look at what we are dealing with. So you have Yanni Nyman here, who appears to be our best player, 21 years of age as well. He's contracted to Vegas. So that's something about the ECHL that we're definitely going to, I think is going to be our biggest challenge, is navigating around the fact that almost none of our players are contracted to us, meaning we don't have any control. We can't even trade the majority of our players because, they're not contracted to us. And of course, we're only the general manager, not the head coach. So there's nothing I can really do about the lines either, unless I fire the head coach, which honestly, I don't really want to do. Because even though the Fort Wayne Komets, they did not make the playoffs this year, so that means their season is already finished. So we're not going to count this season as an official season with Fort Wayne. So we're still, we're not in year number 5 of this GM mode quite yet, but this is more of just an introduction to the team sort of thing. So they didn't make the playoffs. They were 35, 33, and 4 with 73 points. But like I said, I don't want to fire the head coach just yet, because if we take a look at their past seasons, just last season, they were 49, 19, and 4, 102 points. They made the playoffs. They finished first in the division. So, I have to assume that they are a pretty good team. And I would like to give Tom McGregor, our head coach, a good look under my watch before we decide on what to do with him. I also went ahead and acquired some additional assistant coaches. They only had Jeffrey Pelkey before, he was literally their only assistant coach. So I went ahead and hired a defensive, offensive skill coach and a new trainer as well. So we're all set on the staff part of things. Scouting, there's not a draft in the ECHL as far as I'm aware, so amateur scouting doesn't really matter much. As far as professional scouting, it's not like we really need to do that much scouting, so I'll just leave that up to the computer. So with all that considered, the fact that I'm not able to edit the lines, I can't even really make any trades, considering that none of our players are contracted to Fort Wayne themselves. I'm not entirely sure what my role is supposed to be here. We do have a few players under contract, but it appears they're all in our minor league affiliate, who are the Southwestern U.S. Semi-Pro team. And of these players, I think I might want to call up Jordan Palmer. He looks pretty good, so we'll call him up. And it appears the roster is we're actually pretty good. We have a 4.5-star player in there in Nyman. We have a couple of 4-star players as well. Eric Comrie's our goaltender. You have several 3.5-star players, 3 3-star players, and then no one less than 2.5 stars. So, like I said, I think this team is perfectly capable of competing this upcoming season. So I think what we'll do is we'll just simulate through up till July 1st. We'll see what happens in the offseason. We'll see what we're able to do, because, like I said, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be able to do as far as signing players or even making trades, because it appears the majority of our roster decisions are going to be in the hands of whoever Vegas's GM is at the moment, because I believe Vegas is currently our affiliate. So a lot of our roster decisions are going to be made by Kelly McCrimmon. So my point is, we can only do so much here in Fort Wayne, and it's not like we even have too much money to work with either. So if there's any free agents we come across that look like they could be a game changer, we're definitely going to have to go after them, because we need any little bit of control that we can get, because as of right now, we don't have much of it. Considering, once again, most of these players are contracted to either Vegas or Henderson. We can't send any of these players up to Vegas or up to Henderson. We basically just have to work with what we're given. And by the way, I'm sure you guys are looking forward to an update on our old friend, Thomas Boudreau. He actually was drafted this past season I did not realize that it was indeed his draft year, and he was drafted to the San Jose Sharks, who it looks like he played majority of the season with. 65 games played, 28 points, 59 grade. So he didn't even go to the AHL at all. He just went straight to, well, of course he didn't go to the AHL because can't go to the AHL. I would imagine he would have just gone back to Rimouski if San Jose sent him down. But yeah, that last season with Rimouski that we had, that, incredible, unbelievable, I should say, season was indeed his last season with Rimouski. So maybe it was for the best that we moved on from Rimouski, because if, if we didn't have Boudreau, then it wouldn't have felt right. So best of luck to him. But for right now, we do have to focus on our Fort Wayne Komets. So let's simulate ahead, I suppose, to start the offseason, because as of right now, there's nothing for us to do, considering, once again, that the playoffs are now underway for the ECHL and Fort Wayne is not in them. Actually, before we simulate much further, let's take a look at the player stats from this past season just to get to know our roster a little bit. So Dylan Coughlin appears to be our best player. He's on defense as well. He had 56 points this past season, 42 assists. Unfortunately, it looks like he's on the trade block. Can I remove him? I don't think, yeah, no. He's on, you know what it is? He's on Vegas's trade block, probably. Yeah, he's on Vegas's trade block. There's nothing I can do. Yeah, that's just, that is the unfortunate reality of the ECHL. Like I said, we do not have a whole lot of control here. If Vegas decides to trade someone like Dylan Coughlin, there's not much we can do about it, except for, maybe acquiring players of our own, which obviously we do have some contracts here, but none of them are, star level. So if Vegas decides to trade one of these players, then we're kind of out of luck. I suppose that is the challenge of being a GM in the ECHL, but it mostly seems like a lot of this is going to be out of our control. So unfortunately, I'm going through our contracts here, like of the players who we actually do have contracted. And every single one of them, it appears, are not. Oh, okay, this guy's interested. I may as well just meet his demands. There you go. But it appears that most of it, yeah, everyone besides Philip Tresca here is not interested, including Jordan Palmer, who appears to be pretty good defensively. So that's, yeah, this is unfortunate. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure how much of a role we're actually going to have in the success of the Komets here. It might just come down to who we hire as far as coaching goes and any acquisitions that we do happen to make as far as free agency. And actually, I just realized we're in June now, and I did forget to go over the rest of the roster besides just looking at Coughlin. So it does appear that this team had some trouble scoring last year. The next person after Coughlin was Oscar Olesen with 49 points in 69 games. And then there's Cruz, 48 points in 63 games, 46 points for Primu, 45 for Jones. So you got some good depth scoring here, but no one who really stands out. But it doesn't look like Nyman was on the team last year. Let's see his history. Well, actually he was, but he just wasn't on the team the whole year. He was only here for 29 games. He was actually with Henderson the majority of the year, it looks like, last season. But he did have 23 points in 29 games here with Fort Wayne. So if he stays with us for the majority of this upcoming season, then we might have ourselves a pretty good score here, but I believe that is entirely dependent on what Kelly McCrimmon wants to do. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure how much of a role we're actually going to play here in Fort Wayne. It might just be one of those situations where we're literally just along for the ride, because once again, we can't do anything with the lines. We can't, there's no drafts. Anyone who we acquire in free agency is going to be limited considering our limited funds. And we obviously can't trade any players who are under contract to Vegas. So like I said, it looks like it's going to be like we're just along for the ride here in Fort Wayne. So apparently our assistant coach, Jeffrey Pelkey, has decided to look into other opportunities and is not interested in re-signing with the team. Okay, that's cool. So we come in as the new general manager, and we already have coaches walking out on us. That's just great. So we're on June 29th now. I wonder if we'll get one of those report cards that you get at the end of every year. I doubt it, because we didn't play a single game with Fort Wayne, but still, I've never been in this situation before, so it should be interesting to see. No, we do not get it. Okay, so that makes sense. So that being said, I think we'll make our way to July 1st now. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. We don't really have too much control over our roster. We're getting a bunch of players being sent down from Henderson, from Vegas. Yeah, there's Brandman being called up to Vegas, Yanni Nyman called up to Vegas. I kind of figured that. He's a 4.5-star player down here in the ECHL. So let's get a look at our roster now, and oh my. So we have a total of 5 players, 2 of which are actually ours, and then 3 of which are Vegas's. And like I said, there's no draft here in the ECHL, so what we can do is use whatever limited free agent money that we have to go after some free agents. And then the rest, I guess, is up to Vegas. So let's go after a few defensemen and a few forwards. Obviously, there's going to be some NHL players available in free agency, but they're obviously not going to want to sign with us. So we're going to check realistic signing targets here. I would like to get a solid offensive defenseman just so we don't have to rely on Vegas to provide that for us. Jordan Palmer's in here again. I wonder if he would be willing to... Yeah, okay, he is willing to sign with us. So I guess he just wanted to explore his options in free agency, but I will give him $13,500 for 1 year. So like I said, I want to get a nice offensive defenseman in there, and I have found this guy, Brett Baugh. He's 22. He has a offensive rating of 15 for offensive read, 14 passing, 13 puck handling, and he's also pretty good defensively. He's got the 15 stick checking, shot blocking, 14 positioning. He's just pretty solid all around, so I think we'll go after him. So here we have Sammy Walker. I'm pretty interested in him. He's got the 16 determination, really good mental category compared to some of the other players that I've seen. Offensive ratings, nothing's really spectacular, but he's just well-rounded all around. 15 screening, 14 getting open, 15 passing, 15 offensive read, 14 shooting accuracy. Defensive category is not so great, but it looks like he's more of an offensive forward anyway. He played last season with Maine, 29 games, 18 points, and a 63 grade, so I think we'll be offering him. He does want a no movement clause, so I didn't even realize that was a thing down here in the ECHL, but apparently so. So we'll give him $14,500 for 1 year. Okay, so that is quite a bit of money that we have spent on players now. We do need to watch what we spend, considering that, you know, we don't have too much money. And we also need to consider that Vegas and Henderson are going to be sending players down throughout the year. So we have to make sure that we leave roster spaces open for them, because I believe those are the players that take priority, because we can't do anything about them as far as, you know, trading them or releasing them at all. And we can't even send them down to the semi-pro team. We can't do anything with them. So if they're on our roster on behalf of Vegas or Henderson, then we have to send down one of our contracted players. That's just the way it is, I think. So yeah, like I said, we don't really have too much control here in the ECHL, but we're going to do what we can to try to build up this team to be as good as it can be. So we'll simulate ahead a couple of days and see if we got all of our players, and then we'll see how much money we have left. And presuming we have any, then we'll probably go after 1 or 2 more forwards. But like I said, I do want to leave some roster spaces open. All right, so we have signed all of our players. Bertuzzi, Baugh, Nychuk, Porter, Walker, and Palmer have all signed with us. So now we need to assign numbers, and then I think we'll check on our finances and we'll see where we're at. So here's what our roster is looking like right now. We have a few players from Vegas here still, but we do have quite a few of our own now. Now let's see our finances. We do appear to have $163,000 in cap space. Whatever players Vegas sends down to us are more than likely going to be better than anything we could get out of free agency right now. So I think that's going to be it for free agent signings for us. So I believe just like that, our offseason has come to a close. Let's get to the start of preseason. All right, so we're coming up on preseason here. I think I'm going to end it off here just so that we can do all of the upcoming season in the next video. So I'll leave you guys off here. Remember to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one when we start year number 1 with the Fort Wayne Komets and year number 5 of the Road to Glory series. See you guys then.